Reaperman here with the Analogue Pocket, an amazing new FPGA system I got in the mail last week. And as amazing as this little system is, what's a little bit less amazing is its controller support, at least as it relates to dock firmware 1.0. And up on the screen right now somewhere I'm showing the official list of supported controllers, but as you can see we don't have very many of them on that list. And we also have on this workbench a whole pile of other controllers and adapters, and we're going to try those out today. Now, as far as I know, the only one that works of this whole pile is this one right here. If we do find some others, I will splash them on the list now. I have seen some kind of partial compatibility in my early testing. I've tried out about, about a third of these. So let's get this thing going. Now, as you can see, I've chosen Nemesis. It's a nice, easy game that a lot of us have, and let's start with the controller that's just going to work. So this is the 8-bit DOE arcade stick. As you can see, I've put a bat top on it and doubled the spring strength. We always see that little connected down in the corner whenever we plug in a USB device. So this should actually work fine. Sure. We can move the controller around. All looking good. Okay. Now let us confirm play cartridge. Now that will connect via Bluetooth. I have tried it, and also the 2.4, which we had it plugged in there. It also says it'll plug in with USB, which I do not doubt. Now let's go ahead and plug in a different controller. This is the PC Engine, or kind of TurboGrafx style wireless controller that 8-bit DOE puts out, and there's reason to think there might be a little hope. It's got the right number of buttons, and supposedly support is coming for PC Engine and TurboGrafx. But as you can see here, nothing. Controller's properly paired. It said connected down in the corner, but nothing. Alright, so we will unplug that, and now we will get into a little bit more confusing controller. This is the M30 2.4 gigahertz. Now the 230 Bluetooth is on the list, as it seems like there's a fair amount of Bluetooth controller support, but as you can see, our start button worked, our A and B buttons actually work, but not our D-pad. So we can pause the game, and we can shoot, and that is it. That's not really a win as far as this goes. So let's go ahead and unplug this one, and let's grab something else out of the pile here. Let's start with this SN30 Pro. Let's plug that guy in there. Oh, it vibrated when I plugged it in. Pause works right out of the gate. Oh, look at that. We've got some D-pad support here, up, down. This button doesn't seem to work. This button does. Oh no, it works. Never mind, I just didn't have any power-ups, but why would I have? So no, this controller appears to be completely compatible. And also, it weirdly feels a bit less sluggish. Like this 8-bit DOE arcade stick here felt actually just a little sluggish. We're actually going to go ahead and unplug this guy. He goes into the winner pile of victory there, and then we're going to plug the 8-bit DOE controller in with 2.4 wireless again. Man, I do not know. It almost feels a little bit sluggish. Let's try this with Bluetooth. So we're going to turn this thing off. We're going to turn this thing on. Now, for the record, the reason I don't like to use Bluetooth is it actually is terrible at connecting for me. So we have to put this into pairing mode and this into pairing mode. That's in pairing mode. Huh? It says we have a controller connected. Yes, we seem to have controller connected. That feels very much the same, so maybe the lag I'm feeling is actually just kind of the sweep of the stick. Okay, so that's great. We've already found a controller that works in there, and I don't believe that was on the compatibility list here. So let's go ahead and try a different one here. We are going to turn this one off, switch it back to 2.4 mode so I don't forget in the future. Let's go ahead and try this here RetroUSB Saturn controller. This is one of my favorites here. I like using it on the Mister. I guess really it's the wireless one I like using on the Mister. Hey, there we go. Let's grab the wireless one too, because this is going to be a pretty fast test. No, not compatible in any way. Yoink. And let's just go ahead, grab out another controller here. The batteries on these RetroUSB wirelesses always go flat on me. So no, we won't be testing that one today. I will splash on the screen whether it worked or not, which is a, like I'm going to say it's a probably not. Hi everybody, this is Reaperman from the future, and this is a good time to slot this in. So I did some further testing here, and this RetroUSB Wireless Saturn controller is indeed compatible, fully compatible in fact. Now it does have to be in X input mode. The standard HID mode does not work, and to get one of these into X input mode you hold down start and switch and click to B, and hold B, and it should switch over. Right now I've switched it to HID mode, which as you can see doesn't do squat, but when I hold down start and hold down B and this light goes blue, boom, all of a sudden I can play this game again. So that is something there, and the same thing holds true of their Sega Genesis one and also their N64 one. So those will all work in X input mode. And because of X input mode working, I actually tried out this wireless receiver, and this did not work. This is the Xbox 360 wireless receiver, and I tried it with both this Tekken controller here and a standard controller, and that did not work. However, this wired Xbox 360 PDP Versus Fighting Stick, this actually does work, and it's actually pretty nice use for it. Here, we'll just pop this guy in. Come on. Come on. There we go. It goes to the first, we click start, and all of a sudden, boom, micro switches on the stick and all the buttons. Just have to remember starts up here, but that's a fighting controller for you. Just guess it wants to keep the fouls out of the way. So that is definitely something. We'll unplug this guy. Now, I did try this with some PS3 controllers just to show that I'm not completely terrible. I tried it with this Injustice stick for PS3 and also this MadCatz wired stick in PS3. So, well, I guess they're both wired, really. Neither of those actually worked. However, I think that there's a good chance that other wired Xbox 360 controllers would work fine. And for those few asking, no. The Emtec Gembox 2.4 GHz controller does not pair to this thing. Anyway, back to the program. In any case, let's go over and have a look at this one next, because it's cluttering up my table. Now this is the Super Nintendo controller adapter. This is by RetroUSB. It's kind of a common thing to use these on the Mister. And nope. Nope, nothing. Chuck that in the pile of shame. Let us try. This is some kind of an eBay controller adapter that I can't remember if it's for Genesis or Atari, but in any case it should work with the B button and D pads. Tried all three modes. It's got a 1, an A, and a 2. I'm kind of imagining that's a 3-button, 6-button, and Atari. Nope, nothing out of that one, but we are going to keep that little RetroUSB controller here because we've got the actual RetroUSB controller adapter. Now let's see if this thing works. Now, for the record, I've never gotten this to work properly on anything. but I have gotten it to work much more properly than that. On my Mister, it does some weird things, but it wasn't really designed for Mister. Alright, so that's it for the Genesis controller adapter. Now let's grab the RetroBit NES controller adapter and plug that thing in. No, nothing here. That's actually expected. I tested this one out before. Now, here is a homemade controller adapter that I made using one of those super cheap kind of zero delay encoders, and I put it there for my my big old mass stick here. So let's get this thing in here. We'll need it for the next couple of tests. And I've actually tested this extensively, so I've tried doing things like starting the system up with this adapter and the next adapter in, and no, there's no change. This just doesn't work. But as zero delay as the delay on that controller adapter is, I've actually got one of these super high-tech DaemonBite controller adapters for Neo Geo. And again, I bought this so I could use my mass stick here on the Mister. Nothing. And I have also tried, again, powering up the system with this adapter in, and that's just a big old nothing. So here we go. That's a quick video showing off the controller support. Now, I do imagine that the other controllers that it does mention in the manual, like the PS4 controller and the Nintendo Switch controller, those probably do work just fine on this system. But you know what? I like to keep those paired to more modern systems instead. So this has just been a little bit of a controller test here, and we have had at least one surprise with that 8-bit DO controller, and I think I may end up using that a little bit in the future on this system, since it seems like the throw on this stick just kind of makes me a little bit slow. Anyway, until next time, Reaper Man out.